Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Football Fallout. This is all about Week 12 defense and special teams. I'm going to give you my top 5 waiver plays. If that's all you're interested in looking at, just look in the timestamp below. It will take you right to the waiver wire pickups. If you're interested in the analysis, here's what I do. I look at the top 10 projected defense and special teams units going into Week 11. We look at who actually scored in the top 10. We discuss about why that might have happened and how it should affect your fantasy teams going forward. I also give you my top superlatives, my NFL awards for defense and special team this week include the Kicked in the Nuts award. Somebody kicked my team in the nuts. I want to know who kicked your team in the nuts this week. So let me know. I love seeing those comments. We also have a Dumpster Vomit award, and we have an I'm Watching You award. A defensive unit has caught my attention, and you should be thinking about this team too. But before we get rolling, please, for 2 seconds of your time, 2 clicks, a like, and a subscribe. We need your help to grow the channel. Once we grow our channel, we can actually unlock some production features, make these videos cooler and more interactive. We could use your help doing that. That little bit of effort for you goes a long way for us, so we appreciate that. Now, let's dive into the projected top 10 defenses according to ESPN coming into Week 11. San Francisco 49ers, Minnesota Vikings, the Saints, the Steelers, the Redskins. I don't know why anybody would have the Redskins projected in the top 10. I know they're playing the Jets, but still, the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Bills, the Panthers, and the Rams. Who actually scored in the top 10 this week? The ones in white were the ones that ESPN got correct. You have the Falcons, hello Atlanta, number 1 in the fantasy world. Cleveland Browns, New Orleans Saints, the Ravens, Raiders, 49ers, Bills, Patriots, Jets, Rams. I was shocked that the Patriots were not projected to be in the top 10. They're playing Philadelphia. Philadelphia's offense isn't exactly lighting the world on fire. It's not like they're playing the Chiefs. It's not like they're playing the Ravens. Very interesting. It's like, New England loses a game to Baltimore and everybody forgets that they exist. It's the oddest thing. Now, before we get to the top 5 waiver plays, let's do my awards. My award for the Kicked in the Nuts. The Kicked in the Nuts award for defense and special team goes to the 49ers. Now, why would I pick the 49ers? I'll tell you why. As somebody who enjoys wagering on sports and entering against the spread pools and all this stuff, the line for a lot of people, if you caught this line early enough in the week, it was 10. San Francisco minus 10 versus the Arizona Cardinals. They fought and they fought and they fought. They finally took a 3-point lead. And wouldn't you know it, Arizona, they fumble the ball. It gets recovered, but the play's overturned, so they get another shot. Then they fumble again. The ball gets kicked around. San Francisco picks the ball up at the 2 or 3 yard line. Rather than just lay on it and preserve the victory, what do? They scoop it and they score. Completely screws about half the betting community there, or maybe a quarter, depending on when they got in the line. Man, what a wild finish. So, a lot of people pushed that shouldn't have pushed, so good for them. If you were on the other side of that bet, and you had Arizona covering that game, and a lot of people usually like to take the points there. Oh, what a nut kick that was. That was something else. Very interesting. But that's not because they didn't play well. It's just because it's kind of a funny betting circumstance there. Now, the Dumpster Vomit defensive unit of the week goes to the Washington Redskins. Look, Sam Darnold, it's not exactly like the New York Jets offense is lighting the world on fire. Man, what can you say about this? You could have made an argument maybe for a team like, the Carolina Panthers, who kind of give up 29 points to a reeling offense. But then you consider Kyle Allen throws 4 interceptions, put them in a bad spot. You can kind of understand where it is. But the Washington Redskins, my goodness, 34 points to the Jets. And credit the Jets too. So they played the Giants and the Redskins in recent weeks, and they've put up a lot of points against those two teams. So maybe maybe things are turning around, maybe they're not. I don't know. Sam Darnold seems to be settling down, so good for him. Bad for the Washington Redskins. They continue to struggle there. Now, the I'm Watching You award, I think I've been watching them all season. The Denver Broncos defense continues to get better and better. Now, look, they collapsed. We know, we all saw it. They collapsed in the second half against the Minnesota Vikings. It's unfortunate, but if this team maybe had a better quarterback, they would be a really good unit. What I do like, what's happening right now is Coach Fangio has really shaped this team. They've been dealing with injuries. It seems like they've finally kind of settled in. And if you look week after week, especially if you're a daily fantasy player, they've put up some really nice numbers. They're getting sacks. They're forcing turnovers. That's exactly what you want to see from a defensive group. You don't like to see them collapse in the fourth quarter. it's going to happen sometimes. So I'm not going to give them too much flack for losing to an 8-3 Minnesota Vikings team that is very talented on the offensive side of the ball. What I will pay attention to is they shut them out, I believe, in the first half. They look really good at times. They still need to piece it together. If you're in a dynasty league and they're out there and you're looking for a defense in 2020, I think they're a great unit to pick up. Once Bradley Chubb comes back, they're going to be really, really good. But yeah, man, I like what this defense is doing. So just keep an eye out for them. My waiver wire pickups for week 12, my top 5 waiver wire pickups for week 12 defense and special teams. So far, we have the Tennessee Titans. They're coming off a bye week. I've been talking about how Tannehill, I think, is going to keep this defensive unit off the field because they're going to extend more drives. They're going to keep this tough Tennessee Titans defense well rested. I think they're going to be good, and I think this team is going to make a little bit of a run as we move forward through that AFC South. It's not necessarily just the Texans and just the Colts. I think the Titans will have something to say about this division. You have the Philadelphia Eagles, had a nice game, an impressive game. I think they played well enough to win, but New England's defense held Philadelphia's offense in check. It didn't help that the receivers continue to be banged up for Philadelphia. The Indianapolis Colts, who also have a nice, strong defense. They get to the quarterback. They force turnovers. You got to like that. They play tough. I like that. Jacksonville defense, another AFC South defense. Jacksonville Jaguars only own 56.3% of the leagues. Nick Foles, in theory, again, should keep the Jacksonville Jaguars offense on the field and defense off the field getting rest. That's a good thing for them. Even with the Jalen Ramsey trade, I still like the Jaguars defense. They're playing pretty well. And then the Green Bay Packers coming off of a bye week, only owned in 22% of the league. I think you can do better. Obviously, we'll take a look at the matchups, see who everybody's playing in Week 12 and put some more analytics behind this on Tuesday as we do. So check out our Week 12 playlist that is updated daily. We get more and more refining within our daily fantasy and our fantasy football projection. So it's updated daily. We do videos like this for everything, so it's pretty cool. But the Green Bay Packers, I like them as kind of a longer term depth play if you're looking for somebody. And then obviously if you're a defense streamer, we'll take a look at those as well. So there you go. That wraps me up for the defense and special teams. Check out our other videos. Check out our Week 12 playlist. Subscribe, like to our channel. The other videos do include the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. We don't do kicker because kickers are boring. We won't do them. They're too volatile anyway. They can't always hit their extra points for some reason. Now all these coaches are going for 2 when they're down by 7 points. It drives me nuts, but don't worry about that. That's a commentary. That's not an analyst or an analysis, I should say. So once again, we're closing out this video. Please, once again, like, subscribe. I appreciate you watching, and we will catch you on another episode soon. Thanks, everyone.